Okay, so welcome back. This will most likely be the last lecture on the subject of proxies. Anyway, we our proxy server is running, so we have configured that, and it should be functional and operational. Now, I am a stupid person who has actually went to sleep while I've left the proxy server running, which was amazing because I've gotten so many connections that went through that proxy server and went God knows where. In the morning when I woke up, I realized that my monitoring software was still on the T-Shark, and I've seen all these connections coming, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? But apparently, yes, it was up and running for a while. Anyway, now we need to go ahead and whoa, this is my testing with Wireshark, and I went insane with it for a while until I realized the file formats were wrong. But anyway, that's besides the point. Okay, what we are going to do today is set up a pipe from our server to our local machine client, where we will stream the traffic from that machine to our client over SSH, and then we're going to push it to Wireshark, and then we will monitor everything that is going on the server through the Wireshark, which is a very convenient tool for monitoring. There is, of course, a way to set up IP table firewall rules for monitoring and logging, etc. But Wireshark is going to give you like a lot of details. Anyway, and it's a little bit simpler to use. So there are things that we need to do and set up. So first of all, on the server itself, this terminal is actually connected to the server, you need to do a few things. So first of all, if you didn't do it before, apt-get install tshark, and you can also type in Wireshark. It doesn't actually do any harm. And by the way, even after I've closed the, well, there you go. I actually had to change the password. I don't know, because even after I closed the proxy, I had so many connections, like just attempting to come in, and I could see them being rejected. So I changed the password from test to something more complex, I guess. But as soon as I'm done with this, I can't wait to just destroy the server completely, because I had so many connections, like from China, Kazakhstan, Poland, etc. They were all coming in. Anyway, the first thing that you will need to do is type in apt-get install tshark and wireshark. Okay, so those two will be installed. Well, you won't be using Wireshark, but I'm just going to go ahead and install it anyway because this is a terminal here. So those two are installed now, and the next thing that we need to do is type in cat/etc group, and you will see a group called Wireshark somewhere here. Yep, there we go. So we need to add our regular user to the Wireshark group. Otherwise, we are going to have problems, because then we will need to run Wireshark as root, and it is never recommended to run Wireshark as root because, well, it contains like 5 million lines of code or something like that, and you do not want everything running as root. Like, that's really bad for you. Okay, so simple enough setup. You just type in user mod-a-g Wireshark, and then just type in your username here and press enter. I've already done it, so no point in doing it twice. Now, remember before in the very beginnings when I showed you how to install Wireshark onto your main machine, you could log out and then log back in? Well, that's kind of not the case. What you can do here, you can reboot the machine, but I mean, we don't really want to reboot the server. So it's new grp Wireshark, and if you just press enter here, this is gonna basically work, and then you will be able to actually run Wireshark tshark as a regular user. So let's just say eth0 and press enter, and this is gonna like yeah, there you go. So it runs as a regular user. Very important, because we have disabled root login to the server, and if you want to do it via SSH, the pipe and all that, you can't do it as root. You would need to write a far more complex script to be able to do this, as opposed to just allowing the T-Shark to run as a non-root user, which is a far safer option in any case. Okay, now open up another terminal here, just a regular terminal like this, and make sure to have Wireshark set up on your client system. I hope to God that you have watched the first videos, so I take it that the Wireshark is already set up and configured on your system. I don't really have the command here, but it doesn't matter. I can copy paste it from the other terminal. I'm not going to type it simply because it's really long and I don't feel like going over it while I actually type it. So we shall first fire up the Wireshark, and there's like a K option here. Feel free to take a look at the man pages. But there is the -I option, which is far more important for us in this case. The -I option basically specifies the interface, and interface doesn't necessarily need to be your network interface. It can be a pipe file, or it can be a live stream of information in which is the case here. So we're basically doing a redirection of output. We're logging into the server, our server, and then we're passing the command to that server to run T-Shark. We're specifying that the file format is pcap. Very important. If you don't specify that the file format is pcap, the default file format for T-Shark is pcap ng, which is going to cause problems, and you're not going to be able to perform a live capture. And then the -w is actually right, and this is standard output. And this is a filter, so we're just we're just filtering out the port 22 because we don't want to be monitoring for traffic on port 22, because we are connecting via SSH via port 22. So we would just have a lot of redundant traffic there. And now I'm going to go ahead and just press enter, and this is going to fire up the Wireshark, and there is nothing going on. So let's just go over to the other terminal where I am connected to the server, and I don't know, do something stupid like ping google.com. And you can see immediately there is a reflexive behavior here where these pings are recorded. I am pinging google.com, so this is the DNS, and this is one of these IP addresses is from Google. Maybe probably this one, 91.196.50. Actually, it's pretty easy to check who the IP address belongs to. You just type in who is 91.196.50.176, and 176. I don't know, it's in one of these subnets, so let me just see in which one. 176, so it should be in this one. So Euronet is the ISP, country is PL, I think that's Poland. 99% sure it's Poland, and you even have the contact number for the given IP address to submit. And you should even have like the complaint email or abuse email, or you can just dial the number if you're getting abuses from that IP, etc. Every IP address has this. Every IP address that's taken. And aside from those wonderful, aside from my ping, I am getting traffic from like God knows where. Just because I popped up a free proxy, and like the traffic is coming in from a lot of sides, which is not necessarily something that I value or treasure. Well, it's not coming in now, but every once in a while I get like an IP address from Taiwan or something like that asking me if I can see that it's checking whether the proxy is functional or not, which is very annoying. Anyway, on the server, we're gonna go ahead and start the server actually. No, God, this is not a password. Okay, so systemctl start. Oh, by the way, if you want to reset your IP table rules, you just type in IP tables -f. That's gonna flush all of them. Anyway, systemctl start squid3.service. Bring it up. Then we're gonna need a different terminal where we will type in. I hope that your proxy chains configuration has remained the same. I'm actually not sure about mine. Proxy chains. Yep, mine has remained the same. So Firefox. Oh wait. Proxy chains. Firefox. Oh. Proxy chains. Firefox. Anytime? Have you started, friend? Oh, okay, there you go, it's popping. So I'm connecting, and there you go. So you might see some other IP addresses in the actual Wireshark console because people are now going to start connecting to me, which is very frustrating, but nothing I can do about it because I've actually opened it up to the world. I could do IP filtering and all that, but there really is no need. I'm just going to do it for a very short amount of time to show you something. So we're going to I'm going to go ahead and expand this across the entirety of the screen and modify it a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply the filters a little bit because I don't really care about anybody else's traffic. I'm going to go ahead and look for my traffic here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is type in TCP dot port equal. So I'm looking for traffic on port 80 or TCP dot port. You can look for traffic on any of the ports really. 443 equal 443. And I would very much like I'll just put this, like, can I do this? I wonder with these, would this be, yep, this would be fine. And so it's either port 80 or it's port 443, but I would like to get the source. Where is it? IP.src. So the source IP address, I would like to use my own IP address as the source, and you get your own IP address. Since you just started the proxy, you can. So let's just go ahead and close this and type in Firefox without the proxy, and then I'm gonna go ahead and type in what is my IP. And there you go. Notice that it has changed since the last time we talked because, as I said, it's a dynamic one. Let's just what is my IP? I don't know, sometimes life can be really frustrating with these small things. Okay, so I've typed in the IP address and let's close this. Let's bring back the connection over the proxy. And it's going over the proxy now. I'm just going to move the Firefox out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this. There we go. So there's nothing going on. And if I type in, for example, google.com. Okay, this is not picking it up. Let me just go ahead and do this. Apply. Why is the... Okay, maybe I got something wrong here, definitely. Probably because this is a different setup from what I did in my home machine. Okay, let me just scroll down to the bottom. And I'm gonna find myself here. Just give me a sec. So it's 46, 101, 153, 159. So if I scroll down to the bottom, for example, I open up Google search, you're gonna see that this is popping, that the proxy is actually requesting these things, but I'm not requesting. When I'm opening up the browser, for example, and I'm going to yahoo.com, I'm not really using my own IP address on the server. The requests are not going in through port 80 or port 443. The requests are going in through port 3128. So it's TCP dot port equals 3128. And this is gonna increase be careful, this file size can get really big, so make sure you have sufficient space on your PC. So, and there you go, you can actually see my IP address here as this is happening. Here, let me just show you. I'll be able to apply the IP address source filter now. I don't actually have it, but let me just go ahead and grab my IP address one more time. So what is my IP? And just gonna go ahead and copy this. And this is going to be, and just gonna put this like this, and just put them in the parentheses, and then type in and percent sign ip.src. Well, actually, I can't because that's gonna eliminate a lot of traffic. I'll have to use the or shall have to be used in this case. So or IP source equals, and then let's just paste this one. So I can just apply this, and this will enable me to monitor my own traffic. So it says here source, I'm looking for 4636. Let me just go ahead and close this and fire this up. 4636. There you go. So I can see my own traffic. Hope you can see it. It's kind of going fast, but there you go. It says that the source IP address is 43.36.190.151, which is mine, which is going to my server, and my server is 46.101.153.159. And then you get a download of other traffic as well. Anyway, the next thing that we are going to do is have a look at how can we actually see what the contents of the traffic, what the traffic actually, well, not what the traffic is, but how can we actually see what other people can see on the net. So you'll be able to, for example, see the URLs that other people are visiting through you. Okay, so bid you farewell, and gonna hope to see you in the follow-up tutorial because I'm in the 19th minute mark here.